Hi, listeners. It's me again, Luciana, in Bingkai Karya, your favorite podcast that discuss about songs, musicians, and the stories behind them. Today, we're diving into the heart of warmth, honesty, and also self-love with none other than Valentina Ploy from opening for Coldplay in Bangkok to now stepping fully into her independent era. Valentina is inviting us to be soft, to be honest, and also to be warm. Hi, Valentina.
Oh, thank you for the nice introduction.
How's you feeling today?
I'm feeling quite good, tired, but very good. I've had a very productive day in the studio. How are you?
Oh, that's very nice. I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy to have you here. By
Thank
the way, Valentina, first of all, how does it feel to become the opening for the very well-known band Coldplay in Bangkok? It was last year, right?
Yeah, it was, I think, February last year.
Yep,
And
yep.
it was very surreal. Like, I still pinch myself to this day because I can't believe that really happened in real life. And it was such a magic experience, but also very, like, it taught me so much in, like, such a short amount of time. I was so inspired to, like, be able to watch how a machine as big as Coldplay works, like behind the scenes and how they make everything happen. And yeah, it was very, very special for me to witness that. So I'm grateful forever for everyone that made it happen.
Wow, that's very wonderful. I love your energy, by the way.
Thank you. I love yours too.
By the way, did those experiences shape your confidence as an independent artist at the end?
For sure. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
at the time I had a label. I was with Warner Music and What the Duck Music, which helped so much. And obviously, it's thanks to them if that happened. But for sure, like an experience like that, I think it can only, make me feel more confident as a both a human and an artist overall, because you get so much awareness of like also the hard work that's behind being an artist. And yeah, it made me feel like I really want to do this job forever, hopefully, if people keep listening to my songs. And yeah, so definitely I got a boost of, I got very scared in the beginning and very anxious and nervous the first day. And then the second day, I was just like, I'll just go for it. And I was much more confident. And yeah, so I guess, yes, overall.
Very great. By the way, I'm curious about your musical journey. You grew up in southern Italy, but now you're reaching audiences across Asia and beyond, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Can you tell us about your musical journey and what brought you to where you are today, Valentina?
I think, I mean, I started my musical journey as a very like, music was always in my life since I was a kid, and I started writing since I was like around, I don't know, 7. I was very young, and it wasn't obviously my career or anything, but just my way to process and express as a young child my emotions, and me feeling just like shy all the time. I was way more introverted. So kind of like my journey started, sorry, like that since I was like at a young age. But then I kind of decided that I wanted to make it my job and become an artist way later in life. And it kind of like happened when I moved to Thailand. I didn't really move, but it kind of happened because I was here in Thailand. Like I used to come every summer, and I did The Voice Thailand, and then one thing after another, I kind of found myself living in Thailand, and I got signed for the first time at the time. So yeah, everything kind of like started like that, my musical journey until now. I'm an independent artist, and it's been I think
Yeah.
6 years I've been doing it like more
Mhm.
professionally.
Right, right, right. I'm really happy that you finally make it. I mean, that's your dream, and you reach your dream. You make it come true.
Yeah,
That's
kind
very
of like
great.
in my small universe, there's so much to
Hmm.
grow and to expand and to learn. But like when I was a kid and when I like decided, that I was like, okay, I think I want to do this in my life, and then to be able to live off of it for sure, it feels like okay, at least it's something. I'm happy right now to be able to do what I love, and
Hmm.
yeah.
But why you decided? Why did you decide to become an independent artist? Because before you are in Warner Music Asia, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
And yeah, and What the Duck. So I was like in this co system with like two labels, one locally in Thailand and one that was Warner Music Asia. I think it was like a very friendly, all agreed decision. It was something that I openly said that I wanted to try at some point in my career. I was always feeling like some sort of call of wanting to try this path and this journey alone as well, and like have total control over when, how, do my music, when to release everything. And yeah, it was like a decision. I felt like I wanted to embark on a new journey and try do things differently and see how it felt. So that's why.
Okay. And how does it feel?
It feels good, to be honest. I mean, being an independent artist obviously doesn't mean that like I do everything by myself. I still have a very wonderful team like around me. Thank God. I'm very grateful for them, and a great producer that I work closely with. So, they make everything way easier because I feel like I have the right support around me. But I'm also aware that it's a very hard job and like hard work in terms of persistence, and you really need to try and try and try and try and then invest and try things. Some things will work, some things won't work. And it kind of like pushed me to think about it even more as obviously a business because it is, a full thing. But yeah, no, it feels quite great. Challenging at times in a good way, I guess, but good overall to now.
But
Yeah.
what is the difference? What is the difference when you are in a label and now you're being independent? Of course, there's a freedom in it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell about the freedom and how it shaped your albums and the message that you want to deliver?
So I think I was pretty lucky in general. Like even when I was with a label, I never felt like I was forced to make music that I didn't like or anything like that. I was always like free to do whatever music I loved. But in terms of freedom, I mean more like maybe decide when and how I want to release something. And obviously, with smaller teams, there's less people involved. So, with labels, sometimes there's like, oh, so many people involved, which sometimes can
Right.
be great because you have more support, more resources, but also so many things just like get lost, take more time and stuff like that. And for me, I'm a little bit impatient as a person. So I feel like I do well when it's just like a smaller team that like, I get to kind of on the contrary, like more being in control of like when I want to release something, how I want to release it. And again, there's less people involved, so it makes it 1% easier in that sense.
Mhm. Yeah. And then you choose the title Warm, right,
Yeah.
for your debut. This is your first album as an independent artist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And why is it warm? Is there a special moment that sparked you in the beginning of this project, Valentina?
Yeah, I think everything started like when I wrote like a quote, like a line, just a general line, a lyric, a quote, I don't know, that said like sometimes I wish I was cooler, but maybe I was born to stay warm.
Mhm.
And it was like at the same time as I was writing my other project, No Care Zero, which is an EP that came out like I think last year. Yeah, last year. So yeah, when I wrote that line, I kind of felt connected to it, and it felt like very, very personal on a deeper level. And I felt like one day I was gonna use this line to lead a project or an album or something. And I think it's something that represents me quite well in the deep inside. You know, I'm quite emotional as a person, and I guess warm can be the word that like group everything that I am. And to be honest, listeners and fans over time, they helped me so much in understanding myself better as well, because every music that I released, I always would get the comment like, "Oh, that makes me feel so good. It makes me feel so comforted. It makes me feel like there's a friend hugging me." And so it kind of made me realize, oh, maybe I was just born to stay warm. I don't have to prove anything to anyone. I don't have to try and be a superstar or like try and be, you know, it felt like very natural to just, yeah, accept and realize what I was and what I felt I was at the time. So yeah, it feels in that sense
Wow.
warm.
So you found that quote last year in 2024. The sometimes I wish I was cooler, but maybe I was born to say warm. You found it last year,
I think
isn't
before,
it?
I think it was before like 2 or 3 years ago. I don't remember. But when I was writing No Care Zero, so it was just like, yeah, I guess 3 years ago, just the line. And then over time, I finished later to write like that song and other songs. But also on this project, there are some songs like Forrest Gump and Butterheart
Mm-hmm.
that I've been having and keeping like for years. And I never released
Wow.
any album. And it felt correct and right to release it in the Warm project.
Wow, that's super interesting.
Thank you.
Because that's a quite interesting fact that you keep that idea for years, but at the end you make it. You've made it at the end. That's great. Uh, do you also do kind of journaling or deep reflection during writing process?
Yeah, I guess that is my writing process. I find it very hard to sit down and write a song just because I need to write a song. That hardly ever happens. It's just like mostly it's me just journaling and documenting, like writing down everything that happens in my life or like me, how I feel, and some random thoughts that I have. I would just like write it down in my notes. And then I kind of start making songs from those notes. So it's kind of like the journal is my songwriting. You know what I mean? It's just like I never just make music because like, oh, I need to write a song just because, as a job like that. It's more like I have everything written down all the time and then I just go and fish for the things that I like or feel connected to the most and make it into a song after.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And this album, you're not afraid of being vulnerable, Valentina.
Mhm.
In the last track, the Butter Heart,
Very hard, yeah.
right? You're literally crying at that moment.
Yeah.
And you release that. You're not
Mm.
afraid of being vulnerable. Can you tell us why are you crying at that time and why is it so emotional?
So the whole song is like a song called Butterheart, which is about my sensitive side. And I don't know, I always felt like not struggling because I try to embrace, my vulnerable side, but still it's quite, it feels strange. It's still weird, I guess, to just like be so emotional. It's just different. Like there are some people that are just like me that would cry for literally everything. And sometimes people are like, why is she crying? Like, why are you crying? Are you so emotional and stuff like that? So it was my way to writing this song was my way to make sense of like this side of me, and hopefully other people that are like super emotional like me can feel connected to it. And as we were recording it, I was trying to produce it with my producer, and it just didn't feel right. I was just like, this is just like, it's just okay, we're gonna put drums and stuff and this and that, and it just felt a bit like forced. So we decided to just sit down and record just like, the demo. And
Mhm.
naturally, I felt the song so much that I just started crying. And it was funny because then I started laughing. And it felt like me being like that was exactly what I mean in the song. And so I was like, okay, let's just keep it literally like this version, and also the video is just that moment where we are playing it and then crying and
Oh.
then laughing and then crying again and then and hmm.
That's very nice. That's very honest, you know. And you know, I like the song Porsche.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. When you say when you add vroom vroom vroom, that's so cute. Yes. And by the way, you said that this album is split into two emotional parts. So, right? Can you
Yes.
explain what each part means, Valentina?
It's like so basically the second part
Mm-hmm.
is not out yet.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the
yeah.
first part is like the whole this one part one is more like, I would wrap it like the first part is more like warm, like the sun that comforts you and makes you feel understood and warms you. And the second part is kind of like warm, like a fun summer that makes you go like woohoo, and light and makes you feel light. And like when the sun is out, I always associate it to just like when I go back to Italy in the summer and just everything is so nice and blossoming and blooming. And yeah, you just want to go out and feel good about yourself. So these are kind of like the two parts of the album. And it made sense both like musically, conceptually, like everything. It's like the first part, like you can hear, is very stripped, is very raw, is very imperfect, is very like acoustic, organic, and more natural, everything. While the second part will be maybe a bit different.
Okay. Oh my God, cannot wait. Well done. Thank you so much,
Thank you so
Valentina.
much.
Thank you
Thank
so much for
you.
sharing your music journey with us. And listeners, please go stream Warm on all digital platforms and let it accompany you through your own emotional seasons. So stay kind. And as Valentina says, maybe we were born to stay warm.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Valentina. Bye
Bye.
bye.